webinar series. Today we're doing Search Engine Optimization 101. My name is Barbara Eberschmidt. I'm the Executive Vice President of New Media Institute. And without any further chatting, I'd like to introduce the President of New Media Institute who will do the webinar, John Spagnolo.
Thank you, Barbara. Welcome, everybody. Today we're talking about search engine optimization. This webinar is purely the basics. For any of you who would like to get to the top of the search engines, this webinar is for you. So a couple of things that we're going to talk about today. First thing we're going to talk about is search engine optimization. And then we're going to talk a little bit about pay-per-click and public relations and how that can play a role in your campaign. So if you look at this slide right here, it's a simple Google results page. And you'll notice, many of you know this already, but on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see North Carolina roadmaps, Asheville, North Carolina property, Explore North Carolina. Those are sponsored links. Those are people who are paying for an ad when they say, you know, when somebody types in North Carolina, I want my ad to appear. So they're paying for that. On the left-hand side of your screen, you will see the organic search results. People are not paying to appear in the top of the organic search results. And most people, when they make a search in Google, just like yourselves, will click on, most of the time, the organic search results. Sometimes, however, you will see at the top of your screen some sponsored links too, and those are pay-per-click. So our goal today is to teach you about how to get to the top of the Google organic search results. So what is search engine optimization? Search engine optimization, SEO, as you might hear it referred to, is the art and science of optimizing websites to be found in search engines and placed higher in the natural organic search results of search engines. So when you hear about SEO, you hear a lot of talk about a mysterious algorithm by the search engines to place people in the top of the search engine. So what is that algorithm? Well, we don't have the exact algorithm. No one has the exact algorithm. But what we can do is, from our experience, determine what really matters when Google or other search engines are placing you in the organic search results. So two primary things to think about. First thing is your website seen as credible? And we'll talk about what that means in a moment. And is there something to find on your website? These are two critical things. So credibility, how is this determined? Well, the primary thing is how many people are linking to your website. The more people that link to your website, the more credible you seem. So when the search engines go out there and they scan the internet, they count up the number of links that are linking to your website and every other website. And they use that to figure out part of your credibility. The second portion of that is the credibility of those sites linking to you. So if you had 100 Facebook pages linking to you, or one New York Times article linking to you, what do you think is worth more? Probably that New York Times article, because they have many people linking to them. So how do you know how credible your site is to the search engines? Well, one major thing you can do is look up your Google PageRank. Google quantifies your credibility between 1 and 10, 10 being the most credible. And so the question is, how do you find out what your own Google PageRank is? You can download the Google toolbar for your internet browser. When you install it, select the PageRank feature to be included. So here's an example, just of this Explore North Carolina page. If you look at the top of the page, you will see that the Google toolbar is installed, and you'll see something called PageRank up there, right? And you'll see a little meter. Once you put your mouse over that, it shows you that this PageRank at the time had 7 out of 10, which is really good. A lot of people are linking to it, so that's the goal, is to get your PageRank as high as possible. Okay, so now that we've determined that links is the primary way that the search engines determine your credibility, the question is, how do I build more links to my website, and how do I do it fast? So there's a number of ways that you can do that. First, you can ask external sites to link to you. Okay, there may be organizations that you belong to. There may be other associations you do business with. You can ask any of those people to link to you if you give them a reason. Also, give them a reason to link to you. Maybe you have a white paper. Maybe you have a piece of software. Maybe you have something that people want to give their viewers access to. So think about, we'll talk about this a little bit later, give people a reason to link to you. You can also participate in topic forums. So if you're, have a website, say, on corporate hate sites, which we have a paper on, and you go through topic forums through the internet and see that people are talking about it, and you see a useful piece of information that's on your website that could help people, link to those. Also, use traditional public relations. When you're, we'll talk about more about this later, but let's say you conduct a media interview and someone's writing a story on you. Ask them to link to you. And also, some companies rent links. This is common in financial services, healthcare, and adult websites. Okay? Creating a link target list. This is important. You should research your competition and find out where their valuable links are coming from, and I'll tell you exactly how to do that in a moment, and research the related sites to your website. So you want to find out how many people and who is linking to you on the internet. What do you do? Okay? The first thing you could do is go to Google and type in link : and then your URL name. You'll see that on the screen right now. And what that is going to do for you is on this results page, you'll get something similar for your website, but it says results 1 to 10 out of 683. So that means Google recognizes, there may be more links out there from sites that Google does not index, but from what Google recognizes, there are 683 sites linking to this website. So that's fantastic. That's a lot of links. That is contributing to their 7 out of 10 page ranking and their high credibility. Avoid bad links. Avoid pursuing links from pages that have some key text in it, link exchange, guest book, link partners, add URL. Any of these sites that allow you to add links so easily are recognized by the search engines. Okay, and they're known as noise sites. And a lot of times if you use some of the SEO submission software, you will, your link will go into these sites that are just purely a link farm, and those are bad. That will be recognized as something that's very bad for you to do and might actually knock down some of your rating. Okay. Distributing a press release. If you are starting from scratch and you have no one linking to you, one great way to get some links out there is by writing a press release. Okay. For example, we were talking about Cary, North Carolina. So what do? When you write a press release, okay, there's two reasons for writing a press release. One is to get information out to the press, and hopefully someone will write a news story on you. But for this purpose only, I'm talking about it for search engine optimization. The reason we're doing it is because, think about it, if you don't have experience in press releases, then you wouldn't know. But when you put out a press release over a wire service, what happens is that press release gets picked up on lots and lots of websites throughout the internet, which is fantastic because lots of sites or lots of people searching Google might bump into your information about your site, right? So that's a good thing. But what's important to know is that if you put a link in your press release, okay, that link will then be spread throughout all those sites too. So then you have many sites linking to you, and you had 0 before, and now you instantly have many, okay? So be sure to include strategic links into your press release. And we'll discuss more about exactly how you want to do that later. But here's one site. So if you have a limited budget and you want to do this just for SEO, I use this site called PRWeb, and it's much more affordable than the larger wire services, but if you can afford the larger wire services, go for it. You'll get more reach. But I used PRWeb all the time, and what this does is you put out your press release, it carries the links out there, they make it social media friendly, and it's quite inexpensive. So this is who we use to get the message out about websites.